Tyler McVicker thinks the Steam Deck has the potential to be just another failed Valve venture, and in a somewhat snarky video, he tried to explain why.
On my monthly call-in podcast, Letting Off Steam, I've mentioned how I don't trust Valve with the Steam Deck. I don't trust Valve to keep up with the Steam Deck. They get distracted. They get very interested in something new quickly, almost as soon as a new product launches. A lot of people are quite excited for the Steam Deck, and they don't completely understand where I'm coming from.
And while Valve might be quite fickle and their corporate attention span might be fleeting, I think the Steam Deck is a different beast. So I wanted to talk about the Steam Deck and why I think it is different from all the other failed and abandoned projects in Valve's history. First, let's talk about Valve investing heavily in the Steam Deck. They're putting their money where their mouth is, building an army of people to rank every single piece of software on Steam for its compatibility with the Steam Deck. This isn't a trivial task either. There are over 10,000 titles on Steam, and if we assume that each game takes even just a handful of hours to provide a reliable ranking for, that's upwards of 40,000 hours, which if you convert that to work hours, ends up being 19 years worth of work, assuming employees work a 40-hour work week. And if Valve hires a team of, let's say, 19 people to do this work, and they pay them a competitive rate, that could easily total a multi-million-dollar investment in just the first year. But it's not just that Valve is putting in millions of dollars to rank these games for their compatibility with the deck. They're also selling these devices either at a loss or at cost. And I don't believe that Valve would use the Steam Deck as a loss leader unless they were serious about this being a new chapter in the company's history. Valve also partnered with AMD to develop semi-custom silicon for the device. They bought the Twitter handle @OnDeck for an undisclosed amount. And sure, whatever they've spent on the Steam Deck, it's probably a drop in the bucket compared to their annual budget. But on the flip side, they don't usually spend this much money on projects that just get abandoned. See, with the Steam machines, they foisted all of the cost and the risk off onto the OEMs that signed up for their program. But with the Steam Deck, they've taken the risk themselves. Not only that, but again, they are not making a profit on the Steam Deck. Plus, in Tyler's own video, he admitted that Valve actually has been committed to Proton, unlike most of the other projects he mentioned. Personally, I think one of the biggest reasons for this is because of pierre-loup. He's been one of the leading forces behind Proton, and this is important since pierre-loup is also a primary mover on the Steam Deck. And speaking of Proton, its development and maturity over the years is another major factor in the Steam Deck's eventual success. I believe that the plan with Proton has been to release a device like the Steam Deck. Otherwise, why would they have continued investment in Linux gaming? It really wouldn't have made sense for them to keep doing it. But I think the fact that they've remained committed to Linux for years at this point is one of the reasons that we should take the Steam Deck seriously. And even Tyler admitted this in his video. Amongst all the projects he listed in the video about why he doesn't trust Valve to follow through on the Steam Deck, he only said yes to like 4 or 5 things.
Did they follow through on SteamOS? Yes. Did they follow through on Proton? Yes.
Did they follow through on SteamOS? Yes. Did they follow through on Proton? Yes. Those two things, SteamOS and Proton, both of them tie directly to the Steam Deck. Valve has been consistently updating SteamOS over the years, even after the Steam machines were all but canceled and delisted from the platform. Why would they do that? And Proton, again, Valve doesn't really make much money from Linux gamers, so why would they continue to be supporting such a niche audience? Maybe I'm just an eternal optimist, but I think that the Steam Deck is something that they've been building towards for years. And I agree that it's quite annoying when Valve just kind of loses focus and moves on to whatever the next cool shiny thing is. Is it possible that the Steam Deck will fall victim to Valve-itis? It's possible, but for the very survival of the company, the Steam Deck must continue. And if the Steam Deck is a hit, which I think it will be, Valve will continue to support it. Much the same way that they've been supporting their other Linux initiatives for years. But I'd like to know what you think. Do you think that Valve will stay committed to the Steam Deck like they have with SteamOS and Proton? Leave me a comment and let me know. I want to give a special shout out to my friends on Patreon and my YouTube members, without whom I would not be able to do this, so thank you. If you believe in the work that I do and you want to help support this show, consider making a monthly pledge and join the other 100+ Linux warriors with the links below. But I think that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with all the cool stuff that we're doing here on the channel. I hope you all have a blessed day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.